Hello, and welcome to the Foster Care Data Mini Webinar. I'm Jackie Jacobson, the Department of Education's Foster Care Point of Contact. I'm glad to have you here. The work that we do with children in foster care clearly crosses into all areas of the work at the Department of Education: academics, student readiness, and educators. Today, we're going to be talking through several components of our work with children in foster care: coding foster students, DCS educational placements, suggestions to improve data quality, and how to get a hold of us if you need assistance. The work that we do is grounded in the Every Student Succeeds Act, or ESSA. ESSA requires state educational agencies, local education agencies, and child welfare agencies to collaborate to promote the best interest of foster children. To do this, we prioritize enrollment in the school of origin. We immediately enroll in another school if that school of origin is not in the child's best interest. We must transfer academic and other records immediately, and we must develop procedures to provide and fund transportation to maintain that student in the school of origin. What is a child in foster care? Well, luckily we have a definition, and that definition comes from the Child Welfare Statute, Fostering Connections to Success and Increasing Adoptions Act. In that statute, foster care is defined as 24-hour substitute care for children placed away from their parents or guardians, and for whom, and this is very important, and for whom the Child Welfare Agency, in our case, the Department of Children's Services, has placement, care, and responsibility. How do we know if a child is in foster care? Well, the Department of Children's Services, or DCS, provides the department's school nutrition team that list of children in foster care. The school nutrition team's automated matching process then identifies foster students enrolled in LEAs. If a child you expect to be on that DCS foster care list is not on the school nutrition list, please check for an education passport. If that documentation exists, the foster status is confirmed. If you can't find that documentation, or if you are uncertain about the child's foster care status, please call your regional DCS educational specialist and ask for the child's status. They will be more than happy to help. Once you've confirmed the foster care status as described on the slide prior, please use FOSO1 foster care as the student classification in SIS and upload to EIS. Students whose foster care status has been confirmed as described above are part of the economically disadvantaged subgroup because they are categorically eligible for free school meals due to their foster care status. Please do not code foster students with the JDirect certification of economic disadvantage, in addition to the FOSO1 foster care classification, unless the students meet the qualification for that J code through direct certification for SNAP, TANF benefits, or local identification. Please refer to the school nutrition guidance for instructions on FOSO1 foster care begin dates. Please keep in mind that students with foster care status due to a DCS placement who also qualify as homeless per the McKinney-Vento definition are dual eligible for foster care and homeless status and services. Additionally, students with foster care status due to a DCS placement who also qualify as runaway are dual eligible for foster care and runaway status and services. When students in the custody of the Department of Children's Services have a juvenile detention center placement, they are in foster care and coded with FOSO1 foster care student classification, in addition to the JDC 01 through JDC 17 juvenile detention center student classifications. Once the student enters foster care, that status applies for the remainder of the school year. The FOSO1 foster care student classification is Y in the current and all future enrollments during the school year. When foster care students transfer during the school year, receiving LEAs use the enrollment begin date as the begin date for the FOSO1 foster care student classification. The FOSO1 foster care student classification identifies students as foster care for accountability, funding, reporting, and other purposes. Please do not remove the FOSO1 foster care student classification at the end of an enrollment or school year. Do not roll over the FOSO1 foster care student classification to the next year. Okay, let's take a look at a scenario or two. We have a student who has been removed from his or her family and placed in a foster home in the custody of DCS. The student is still enrolled in the school of origin. What codes should you use? A, no changes. Enrollment information stays the same because the student has not moved to another LEA. B, code the student as FOSO1 foster care. Or C, withdrawal code 02, placed in the custody of the Department of Children's Services to be educated in a youth development center or DCS affiliated school. Which is the correct answer? If you answered B, you were correct. FOSO1 foster care. The student is entering foster care and remaining in the LEA, therefore, he or she should be coded as FOSO1 foster care. Let's do another one. Here we have a student who is attending school at one of our elementary schools in Volunteer County. The court, independent of DCS, has granted the student's grandmother custody and placed the student with her until things are stable at home. There is an open DCS case on the student. The grandmother lives in Simpson County. How do I code and move forward with this student? A, Volunteer County should code the student as FOSO1 foster care. B, Volunteer County should withdraw the student and the student enrolls with Simpson County as a standard enrollment. Or C, Simpson County should enroll the student and code as FOSO1 foster care. If you answered B, you were correct. Volunteer County should withdraw the student and the student should enroll with Simpson County as a standard enrollment. Why? The student's placement was not made by DCS. Refer back to that standard definition of children in foster care. Therefore, his or her placement does not meet that federal definition. His or her move to another LEA should be treated the same as any other student relocating from one LEA to another. Let's talk for a moment about Student Classification's research query. To check your data in EIS, log in as a district or school user. Select Data Reports, Research Queries. Then select the Student Classification's research query. Select Year and enter 2024 for the 2024-25 school year. Select Student Classifications and the Foster Care Student Classification. To run the query, select View Report. To download in CSV or Excel format, use the file icon next to the right of Find Next. The research query results include a record for each student flagged with the FOSO1 foster care student classification. School and student identifiers are on the left. The FOSO1 foster care student classification is on the right. Just a few words about DCS educational placements. DCS approves in-house educational programs in their Level 3 and 4 programs, as well as some Level 2 programs. If a student is attending an in-house school, at a DCS educational placement, he or she should be withdrawn from the LEA using withdrawal code O2, placed in the custody of the Department of Children's Services to be educated in a Youth Development Center or DCS affiliated school. DCS is considered an LEA. When a student is placed by DCS and is attending a DCS in-house school, DCS becomes the LEA for that child. Not all DCS placements have an in-house DCS-approved school. Examples include foster home placements, juvenile detention centers, and some Level 2 group homes. Students in the custody of DCS who are placed in a program or home without a DCS in-house school should attend the public school for which the foster family, group home, or program is zoned. These students are considered to be in foster care, are on the DCS foster care list that the school nutrition department receives, and should be coded as FOS01 foster care. Let's do a couple more scenarios. I know you love this. We have a student, Jacqueline, here, who was recently placed in DCS custody. DCS placed the student at Simpson Academy, which operates a DCS-approved in-house school in Simpson County. Can I withdraw the student? A. Yes, withdraw student using withdrawal code O2 for students withdrawn to DCS educational placements. B. No, keep Jacqueline enrolled and code her with the K-in student classification for students placed in an in-state residential facility. Or C. Yes, withdraw Jacqueline so that she can enroll in Simpson County schools. What are your thoughts? If you answered A, you were correct. Withdraw Jacqueline using withdrawal code O2 for students withdrawn to DCS educational placements. Why is that? She was placed by DCS in a DCS contract placement that contains an approved in-house school. Therefore, she should be withdrawn from the LEA using withdrawal code O2, withdrawn to DCS educational placement. DCS will now serve as the LEA for Jacqueline. Let's do another one. Here we have a student named Martin in home county schools. He was recently placed in the custody of DCS, and DCS placed him in a Level 2 group home in Lyon County. The group home does not have an in-house school. What do I do? A. Keep Martin enrolled in home county schools and code him as FOS01 foster care. B. Home county withdraws Martin using withdrawal code O3 transferred to other Tennessee school system. Lyon County enrolls Martin and codes him as FOS01 foster care. Or C. Withdraw Martin to DCS custody using withdrawal code O2. And the answer is B. Home county withdraws Martin using withdrawal code O3 transferred to other Tennessee school system. Lyon County enrolls Martin and codes him as FOS01 foster care. Why is that? Well, Martin is placed in the custody of DCS, but is placed in a setting that does not contain an in-house DCS-approved school. His placement should be considered a foster care placement, and he should then be coded as FOS01 foster care. Since his school of origin is several hours away from his new home, the LEA and DCS have determined that it is in his best interest to attend school in Lyon County. Lyon County should immediately enroll Martin and code him as FOS01 foster care. Just a few suggestions for you to improve your data quality. Regularly collaborate with attendance, EIS, federal programs, and other colleagues to ensure that your data are coded properly. Frequently check your data in your student information system and EIS and upload revisions as needed. For any additional information, please refer to the FPO Data Manual. As always, if you need assistance, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me or to Trish Kelly. Our contact information is here. And if you have questions about EIS errors or restaging problems, be sure to contact the District Technology Support Team at the contact here. Thank you so much for your kind attention, and I hope that this information has been beneficial. Have a wonderful day.